I just need to visualize it.
What are you working on?
Oh, we're doing this now? This is my screenplay that I have been working on since Fast and Furious 7, so I think that's about 8 years now.
What's it about?
I like to think of it as the culmination of themes and motifs I've been exploring for my entire career. Twisted metal, the perversion of the car, the almost psychosexual nature of the car crash. It's sort of my farewell to the Fast and Furious and Transformers franchises that have consumed my career for the last decade and a half. It's going to run about 5.5 hours, and after I finish this, I think I'm done with action movies.
When's it going to be made?
Well, the studio thinks that a 5.5 hour movie is unmarketable, so that remains to be seen.
Is Exon going to be directing?
Is Exon going to direct it? Of course Exon's going to direct it. Who else would direct it?
All right, driver one ready? Okay. Action! What the fuck is this? I don't see my stunt driver. I thought we had a real stunt driver. It's a fucking Nissan Leaf. All right. If we have footage from the helicopter, I guess we can make this work in post.
Hey, Exon, I need to talk to you.
Okay, where are we sitting? I have like 2 minutes. What's this guy doing here?
No, he's with me, don't worry. Listen, I need you to give me a meeting with the studio.
Oh, not this again. Look, they don't listen to me any more than they listen to you.
That's not true. They treat you like a god over there. You're like a celebrity.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they... Listen, I just... Give it a shot, all right? Just ask them.
All right, I'll see what I can do. No guarantees.
That's fine, that's great.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah, this guy's great. I met him working as a second unit director on Death Race, I think, in 2007. Yeah, and I've worked with him on all my projects since. His films always make money, and he's kind of a visionary. He can be kind of hard to work with, though. Okay. Oh yeah, the studio. They don't want to fund the flying tank scene.
They're not gonna fund the flying tank scene? How are we gonna put it in? This is like the core of the film. All the themes lead up to this point. I mean, the subtext is just entirely useless without the flying tank scene.
I mean, the studio, they just don't want it.
I don't think they understand. I mean, how much did they pay you for the last film that we did?
Like $2 million.
I think that's enough. We can get the VFX guys to work overtime, and then we bring in
Hold
some.
on. I'm not paying for this out of pocket.
Why not? This is important to the film. We need this.
Why don't you pay for it then?
Oh, if the studio paid me $2 million for every film we made, I'd be making all my own films here.
Can't say he's not passionate, though.
Are all of your movies about cars?
More or less. I mean, I got into extreme sports when they brought me on for XXX3 rewrites. But, yeah, I think everything else is cars.
Why?
Why what?
Why are all your movies about cars?
When I was about 8 years old, I was on a road trip with my grandparents. We were on this winding rural road in Virginia. It was this old beat-up road, no side barriers, lots of potholes, very winding. And I heard this roar coming from behind us. And as I looked over, there was this red blur. A car sped right by us. I think it was a Mazda RX-7 FD model, I think. It must have been going at least, I don't know, 100. And as it turned around the bend, I just heard crash, 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 maybe 6 times before it finally stopped. And my grandparents, in our car, we went around the bend and we stopped, and in the middle of the road was this mangled heap of a car. So we got out of the car, and I saw on what used to have been the passenger side of the car a man was crawling out. But he was crawling because he was missing an arm and a leg. They'd been torn off in the crash. And as he crawled out of the vehicle, I saw him usher to me. My grandparents didn't see. They'd been helping the person in the driver's side. And so I walked over to him, and he ushered for me to sit down with him. And I was young. I didn't know any better. I sat down next to him. And he looked at me and he said, "Am I dying?" And even at that age, I knew that he wasn't going to make it, but I looked him in the eyes and I lied to him and I said, "You're going to be all right." And he put his head on my shoulder, and he kept asking me, "Am I dying? Am I dying?" And I just kept lying to him until eventually he stopped asking. And he slumped over. So I laid his head on the concrete and I walked away, and as I looked back there was a mangled pile of twisted metal and rubber in the street, and I realized at that moment that within each car there is a beast, and I realized the true power. Yep. 5 days? Yeah, that's great. I can do that. Yes, thank you. See, I knew they'd listen to you. Alright. Thank you so much. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Exon got me the pitch at the studio. The meeting, it's in 5 days. I need a finished screenplay by then. But I just need to finish the third act. I think that's like 80 more pages. I think I can do that. They're here. So I sent my work in progress screenplay to my storyboard guy. He sent me some of this sort of concept art. Oh wow. Yeah, these are great. So here's a car chase that takes place on an aircraft carrier. I think that looks pretty good there. Here is a articulated bus driving through a Sears as a motorcyclist gives chase. That's pretty good. Here's the same articulated bus after crashing through a clock tower face. Here is a boat that crashes through the Hoover Dam. Oh, this is a good one. Here is the F1 car from the second act, driving away from an atomic blast, narrowly escaping the shockwave. Well, maybe I won't show you all. I don't want to spoil it. You'll have to watch the movie, I suppose. But anyway, if you think this is crazy, just wait till you see what we have planned for the third act.
What are those?
Well, I subscribe to the belief that children have the best imagination. And so I have my teacher friend let his students help me out a little bit. They just write down some ideas for me here. It's a little bit of a taboo practice in the industry, this sort of thing, but it's definitely helpful. Some of these are really creative. I mean, there's a few. Elizabeth's aren't very good. I hate to be critical since they are so young, but she just doesn't have it. Some of them, though, Daniel's. I always love reading Daniel's. If he keeps this up, this sort of work, he definitely has a future in this industry. These kids, they really are my inspiration.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm not writing. I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking about writing.
What's with the sheet?
Out of sight, out of mind. I don't want to think about it. Who's that? It's almost 10. Skidman?
Hey, Corduroy, I brought you some food. Exon told me you were finishing up your screenplay today, and I figured you could use some help and some food. I know how into it you can get with these kinds of things, but what's up with these cameras?
Well, they're doing a documentary on me. This is Hal Hooper. Everyone just calls him Skidman, though. He's like the best and craziest stuntman in the business.
Oh, thanks, man. That's really high praise coming from you, and you know that if you need any help with ideas, you can always bounce them off of me.
Oh, no, that's all right. Well, actually, I do have some storyboards if you want to take a look. I could sure use the inspiration. So here's storyboards that I got sent. This one is articulated bus driving through a Sears, and there's bad guys on motorcycles chasing it. I mean, what do you think about that?
You know I love this kind of thing, but what if, to add a little bit more spice to the situation, we had a guy on top of the bus with a shotgun, and he was shooting the bad guys?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'd have to talk to my visual effects team to see how that would work.
Why would you need to talk to the VFX guys?
Well, because we need the visual effects work here.
I can do it.
Oh, you're talking about doing this practically?
What other way would I do it?
With you standing on the bus? I mean, that... and you're willing to do that?
Of course I'm willing to do it.
Sure, yeah, that works. Yeah, as long as you're insured. So here's another scene that I had planned where we had this bomber jet flying over the semi, and it has a tank and a Volkswagen on the background. It sort of leads into a tank chase scene.
Okay, but what if instead of this plane here dropping a bomb onto this semi, it's actually a guy on a rope, right? So we've got this guy on a rope, and he's going to swing onto the tank so that he can drive it around.
And you're still talking about doing this practically?
Yes.
Like with a real person on a real jet?
Me.
Yeah, that sounds great. So this shot is in space. Here's the moon, and it's this missile that's flying towards this Russian satellite to defuse it. And I just feel like there's something missing here. It needs to be more thrilling.
What if the only way to disable the satellite was to have a guy turn it off from the inside?
And you're talking about having a person fly out into
from
space.
This rocket to this satellite on a trajectory like this.
So he's jumping.
He's jumping. I am jumping from this rocket to this satellite in space
And
to turn it off.
This is a practical effect.
This is a
dude.
practical effect
I mean,
done
this
in
is,
space.
This is going to be. There's budgetary constraints, and I'd have to talk to NASA and
I can pull some strings. I'm
aerospace
telling
scientists.
you, I can pull some. All right. Well, I'll see you around, Corduroy. It was a real pleasure talking to you today.
Yeah, thanks for dropping by. You're welcome here anytime. This was good. I think Skidman reminded me something. That this film, it has the cars and it has the spectacle, but at its core, that's not really what it's about. This film, it's about going to the lengths you go to for the ones that you love and the ones who are worth it. This film, it's about family. I'm gonna get a good night's rest, and tomorrow I'm gonna finish this screenplay. Hey man, thanks for picking us up.
Yeah, no problem.
My car isn't really working, so
Yeah.
alright, let's hurry, we're running a little late.
So you finished the screenplay then?
Yeah, I was a little closer than I had hoped, but I got it done. I'm hoping it's gonna be good enough.
Yeah, well, you always make money, so you must be in good standing.
It's not about the money.
Yeah. Well, you're in luck. The studio's been looking for some miniseries. Streaming's in right now, you know?
Miniseries? What are you talking about?
You know, you could convert your film into a miniseries.
No. It's a movie. It's not a TV show. It's not something you can just sit down and binge. It's a work of cinematic art.
You know, it's just like a long shot that the studio's gonna invest in something that isn't a tentpole IP.
I am not making a miniseries.
Alright, what about splitting it up into 2 parts then?
No, I'm not making a miniseries. I'm not making a duology or a podcast or a damn book. I'm making a movie.
Hey, you should be thankful I even stuck my neck out for you here. You know, the studio...
Hey, watch that car! Shit! God damn it, Exon.
Where do you think you're going?
Huh?
What the fuck you do to my car?
I wasn't paying attention.
Ain't no shit. Look,
Exon, we gotta go. We're gonna be late.
I know. Is this? Look, I want to make this right. How much do you think your car costs? 8,000 or 9,000. Why? You should cover it. I'm really sorry.
Did you handle the situation?
It's been handled.
All good? Alright. Alright, let's go. We can still make it in time. We're fine. Are you kidding me? God damn it, Exon! You make $3 million a year, you can't get a functional goddamn car? Why do you drive this piece of shit? We're not gonna... if we aren't there in 30 minutes, they're gonna cancel our appointment.
Good luck, Roy. I mean it.
Well? They want to talk to you now.
Me? Why?
They trust you. How'd it go?
They're gonna let us make it.
They're... I knew we could do it.
They say you have to cut it to 3 hours, though. Max.
No, I told you, I'm not going to do that. They don't understand. I'm not doing that.
They won't budge on that.
It's all or nothing. I'm not doing that.
Look, if that's what you want, I'll walk out of here right now with you. But I want you to understand. They're offering you $250 million right now. Is that really what you want?
You know I can't do that.
Do you feel like you made the right choice?
I'm an artist, not a businessman.
If it were me, I would have taken the deal right there. But I guess that's why I'm not him. I mean, that's why I don't, or can't do his job. I became disenfranchised with Hollywood a long time ago, and looking at him, being honest with myself, it's hard to even call myself an artist next to that. As much as his naivete annoys me, his audacity inspires me so much more. So yeah, we're going to keep looking for independent financiers, and hell, maybe I'll even pitch in some of my own money.